So I'm making this video because a friend of mine purchased an armor piece, a chest armor, and we measured it and everything to fit the body, but it just kind of had a wide flare to it, and she was kind of hoping to get it to kind of use a little bit of heat to wrap the body a little bit better, to conform to the body a little bit better. So I wanted to show people how to do that using a shoulder armor. This is like a B2, I believe, B2 Battle Droid armor. And this is from the Survivor, the Mandalorian Survivor armor from the TV series. If you watched Mandalorian, what is it, season 3 or season 4? You get to see the Survivor, one of the Survivor Mandalorians that has shoulder armor. So that's what this is. And so I'm gonna use heat to widen it to fit my arms, because when I printed it, it didn't quite print wide enough. And rather than print a whole new piece, I'm just gonna use some heat to show you how to make it fit. So it's already really soft and pliable. So what I'm going to start doing is just trying to slowly push it out without deforming it. So I already did this side, and since this is a shoulder armor, I'm trying to get it to be wide enough to fit on my shoulder. I'm just slowly working it outwards, because it is pretty pliable at this point. It's hot, it's warm, it's flexible, but I'm trying not to warp it to a point where it's noticeably, stretched out. But I'm trying to get it to fit on my shoulder, and it's a little snug. So I'm using my arm as a way to kind of guide how wide I need it. I've already widened it quite a bit from where it was. But now that I've done one side, I've done this side now. I've already done this side, and now I'm working on this side. After that, I'll go back to working on this side again until I get it perfect. And then when you look at it, it should still look relatively straight. Not straight, but symmetrical is the right word. You want to have it look symmetrical. So you don't want to have too many warps. It is hot to the hand, just so you know. And I would start with less heat instead of more heat, because you don't want to melt it and mess it all up. So you can kind of, if you look closely, you can kind of see where I've already kind of started warping the plastic by playing with it. You can kind of see the rivets. It's not going to matter much, because I'm going to put UV resin over the top of this and sand it, and it'll all look smooth and there'll be no ripples. For battle damage, since this is a battle droid, it actually might work out to be kind of cool, because this is the Survivor armor, so it's supposed to look like a battle droid that is used for shoulder armor. So it's going to stick out anyway. There's no way it's unless I make it really wide, unless I print it really wide, it's going to stick out anyway. So I think flaring it as much as I can to get it to fit on my shoulder would be the best alternative. Let's see, even over here, see if I can get it. Even over here, it's kind of still sticks out, but it has that piece as well. So maybe if I took that piece out, I could it'd fit on my arm a little bit better. Yeah, it would fit a lot of armor. Yeah, it'd fit a lot better like that. So if I took this piece off, it'd fit on my shoulder a lot better. I can still feel how warm it is, so it's still really warm to the touch. But a little bit more heat and playing around with it, and I think I can get it perfect. But that's how you use heat to kind of warp or or play with your PLA, just to get it to kind of, if you have it just a little bit, you want to get it a little bit wider, or you want to make it fit a little bit better. I've done it drastically. I took a piece a while back and drastically warped it, and it did divot the piece itself, because I moved it so much, I warped it so much to make it wider, and then I used UV resin to fill in those voids, and so when it got primered, you never saw any of that. But I've done that before a few times. I did that on a belt for a belt that I did, and it actually worked out really well, because the belt was designed for somebody that was more of like a 34 waist, and I'm closer to like a 44 waist. So even when I sized it up, it still wasn't the right dimensions. So I had to curve it better to fit my round body versus somebody that had a real thin body. But it actually looks really nice. So even though I've used heat to bend it and warp it, it actually turned out really nice. So I'm gonna keep at it, see if I can get it to be perfect. But that's, I think taking that piece out, that mouthpiece out, is actually probably the trick for it to fit properly. And then to have it stay on my armor, or on my flight suit, I'll use either straps, or I'll use buttons. Some people use Velcro, but I'll figure out a way to attach it at some point. But there you go. Thanks for watching.